Students, I heard that some of you don't know how grades actually work. In fact, some of you are walking around thinking that grades are a mystery. False. Grades are not a mystery. In fact, grades are easy if you ask the right questions. So in class, stop asking if this goes in the grade book. Instead, ask where it goes in the grade book. There are 4 grading categories in Infinite Campus. The first category is pre-assessment. That is worth 0%. That can neither hurt us nor help us. The second category is assessment during learning. That's 25%. The third category was guided group, which is a huge category. That's worth 45%. Your last category, summative assessment. That's worth 30%. So now that you know that, it's time to plan. We have to come up with a strategy. The first thing you want to do is write your average in each category for each course. Make a chart like the one that I have here. For periods 1, 2, 3, and 4, know your averages across the board. For example, look at this student. 37% is the lowest average for guided group. So the rule is, where you mess up is where you clean up. Do you have more than 1 0? What on earth were you thinking? To make a 1 0, it takes 4 100s. Yes, 4 100s to compensate for 1 0. Here's my question. What are your chances of getting 4 100s in the same category of the 0? So now you think you need extra credit. First, you have to do all the regular credit. Stop asking for extra credit. Remember, extra credit is a gift. It cannot be demanded. So, you mean to tell me that all extra credit would make me pass? Exactly. You need extra credit points in the category where your average is the lowest. Remember the rule. Where you mess up is where you clean up. Students, is your class an EOC course? Listen up. You need some more strategies. So first thing you want to do is remember that 80% of your score and 20% of your score. 80% is composed of things like assessment during learning, summative assessment, and guided group. 20% of your grade is composed of your EOC score. For your 80%, you have around 89 to 90 days to come up with that score. But that 20% for your EOC is a one-shot deal. You have approximately 1 to 3 days to get the score that you need to take control of your grade. So my question to you is, what can you afford to make on the EOC? Not sure? Well, let's just do the math. Let's learn the formula. Ready? Here it is. You're going to take your grade that you have in Infinite Campus, and you're going to multiply that grade times 80%, or 0.80. That will tell you your real grade in the course. Remember, your real grade has to be lower than what you see in Infinite Campus because 20% of your grade has not been utilized. Then you want to take what you predict to make on the end of course test. Take that score and multiply it times 0.20 or 20%. That will tell you the amount of points you can add to your real grade because of the contribution of the weight of the EOC. Add those two scores together, and then that will tell you what's your final average. So, can you afford to just pass the EOC? Will quote unquote passing help you pass the course? We've got to do the math. Let's look at an example. A student has a 70 in Infinite Campus, which means that his real grade is actually a 56. He thought he was passing, but no, really he has a 56. And then on the end of course test, the same student makes a 70. So 70 times 20% will be 14 points. 56 plus 14 gives the student a score of 70. That will be his final average. No one wants a D. In fact, if he was just shooting for 70, what if he made a 69 on the EOC? That means he will not be able to pass the course. He could not afford a 70. So, what can you afford? A beginning learner, then you have developing learner, or are you a proficient learner, or are you a distinguished learner? Each category says something about your readiness for the next level. Beginning learner is for points from 0 to 67. Developing learner 68 to 79. Proficient learner 80 to 91. Distinguished learners from 91 to 100. So what score can you afford? You have to do the math. You have to have a plan. Listen, this doesn't have to be you at the end of the semester. You can have better grades if you have a strategy.